Rock bottom on the track, boy.
Okay. Hold on one second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, I've been muted for 9 minutes. I've been muted for 9 minutes. Maybe I should have been muted at the beginning, but who cares? We're gonna go with it now. Again, you probably gonna want to rewind this. I'm actually gonna edit everything so get back to where we was at. Anyway, I want to just talk about, as you can see by the thumbnail here. Let's get back to the thumbnail thing. My bad, guys. Woo, messed up. But if you're joining in, you see what's going on. Anyway, you see the title of it: Are Modern Women Above Criticism? Um, the reason why this title is evident tonight on my live, because the last 24 hours, I just, it's every day. It's like an everyday thing. I'm sick and tired of seeing this. It's a bunch of echo chambers being displaced on our society, and it's like people don't really care until something happens, you know. And I feel as though we are protecting grown women, modern day women, more than we are children, you know. And it's a sad situation, because we, again, as I said at the beginning of the week, we promote single motherhood. We promote we promote a lot of these guys, a lot of these women making bad decisions with guys that they know that got a million red flags on them. We promote another thing I hear a lot about, good, good girls go with bad, always, want a bad guy. That may be true, but for the most part, are these really good girls when it's a history of having quote unquote guys uh, that got red flags and considered bad guys? Is this honest truth, uh, to say the least? Do we really do we really think it's only good girls going with bad guys? Is that a, like, what statistic can we see in that? Because I don't know no, I really don't know no good guys. I don't know many good guys at a certain age want a bad girl, and vice versa. I don't know many good women at a certain age want a bad guy. They usually, good girls go with good guys, and bad, quote unquote bad girls go with bad guys, and that's what I normally see. I don't see what people believe that, it's a situation with that, because that's the norm. You want, it's like that's another thing that's glorified, going with a bad guy and she's a good girl. And again, if they have this history of going with bad guys, getting into these trouble, getting into trouble with bad guys, especially a woman over the age of 25, and she been basically nothing but bad guys in her life. And just because she's not overshadowing, she's not doing things as bad as he is, but more than likely she is, because she's, that's what you call a down ass chick, when you start doing things that's unlawful, you know. But I want to break it down like this. With a young man, this is how I'm going to break it down tonight. we have a young man, and a lot of these, I seen the last 24 hours. I want to let you guys know in the town I live in, it was a murder suicide or what have you. A young, beautiful young lady got killed by her very young boyfriend, and then it kind of turned the town or even a county, kind of turned it around. I wouldn't even say turn them around because it's going to be the same situation where the modern woman will be above criticism of how she, for what my beliefs is, how, you know, how, the child is not protected as they should be. This not relating to the young lady and the boy. It's relating to a lot of conversations that was going around. It was another. It was many women, saying modern women, even a lot of beta males, sipping forces that I call them, was saying many like real low level things, and people, blaming the boy, of course, and telling the young man, what have you, is this, and the same thing, telling girls, if you having trouble, get out that relationship and stuff like that. And there was certain women and men that were saying, if it's a red flag and this and that, a third, get out of there. What they say, get a restraining order and all this other stuff. And that's excellent. That's an excellent advice. But now let's look at the big picture. And this is what I want to come from when I talk about the big picture. The big picture is, what about we value our children? Meaning, when we making bad decision dating, do we think our children not looking at the bad decisions that we making, each and every person that we date? And then when they grow up so fast, and again, I'm a father of two young adults, a young lady and a young man. And then when all this occur, when we see all this, basically, we see things when they grow up so fast, and they start to see what you did and who you valued and who you try to make a decision with, that that wasn't right, but you complaining, but they still looking at you, because they always say a girl dates whoever whatever personality her father had, she usually dates. And I don't believe it. I really, that might be um, that might be subjected to certain people, but nowadays, I'm gonna say the last 20-25 years, it's more like whoever they mother dated back in those days, whatever her prior dates, the young lady will usually date like her mother did. No matter if it was good guys, and hopefully it was good guys, or no matter if it was bad guys, she would date that particular type of it'd be a merry-go-round. It'd be a constant thing. It'd be like a carousel. 20 years later, 15 years later, whatever it be, the daughter is dating just like the mother dated. Okay. So again, we're going to take this to a bigger stage than who fault was it and stuff like that. We're going to take it to a stage of how to raise your son or daughter when it comes to the dating aspects and stuff like that, and values. I seen specifically, I seen a young woman. I read what she was writing, and how this is disgusting, this and that, the third. You said that boys are supposed to value, never hurt women, and this and that, the third. And she's right. Absolutely right. Never hurt women, this and that. And then she said, "I will. My son would know better," and stuff like that. And then I said, and then I looked at the whole situation. And I said, "How would she know? I hope. Like, how do she know the mindset of a man? I hope." And then I asked, "I hope the father is in that boy's life, and I hope the father have some type of knowledge for that boy, because the way we've been raising young boys." And I've been a mentor for over 20 years. The way we mentor young boys is simping. It's valuing any woman that they are with, no matter how she is. And then instead of the boy valuing himself, understanding he grew up in a productive household because the mama made the right decision on what type of father she was going to go have on a baby with. So he saw his father make the right decisions. Even if his father wasn't making the right decisions, he wasn't making them in front of him, or vice versa. The woman, even if she wasn't making the parents, the mother, even if she wasn't making the right decisions, she didn't show the son. Okay, this is how we don't create madness with the child. We don't make a bitterness and things of that nature. It's constructive. They seeing great things instead of seeing chaos in a home. So whatever you're saying, when a woman, a single mother, modern woman, say, if I have a child, a boy, or my boy, that they have a son, or right now, and she's saying to him, you better not hurt no woman, and this and that, and third, and instead of telling that boy, this, like I always say, make sure you're mentally ready. Make sure you're mentally ready with yourself, valuing yourself, not getting to these relationships, especially in the modern world, where a woman can usually do whatever she wants all the time. Make sure, because she has many friends telling her what she can do. Make sure you love yourself, young man. You don't have to be going around, swinging your opinions everywhere you get it. Just make sure you love yourself and understand loving yourself is not, dressing the latest clothes and stuff like that. I'm talking about it spiritually, because we're investing in our children, because it's not about us when we have these kids. It's not about us anymore. We're investing in children now, because again, they grow up very fast, and especially in this modern era, when we teach our daughters they can do thy will, they can have kids out of wedlock, they can even have abortions, they can even do whatever they can to, whatever they can to destroy themselves mentally, and then whatever. And then we can teach our sons to be highly emotional, to value every type of woman, no matter what background she come from, value all of them. Don't acknowledge your self-esteem. Don't acknowledge who you are as a young man and growing up. And don't worry about if you grew up in chaos because you saw your mama dating Tom, Dick, and Harry. Don't value. So all this is chaos and everything else. And then all this comes together. That girl that looks like she could do whatever she want, and that boy gonna value that particular woman, young lady. And what for? Why are they coming together? When, and as parents, and we see it. We see our young, like, let's say we have young adult kids. We see our young adult kids dating, getting serious about dates. And then, but you're saying to yourself, that's if you're really investing in your child. Because I'm speaking from a critical thinking perspective, because I don't know how to speak into another universe right now. But I know the chaotic, universe, though. I know that universe. But I'm speaking right now in a critical thinking perspective. You invest in your child. You invest in everything he or she is going through in their life because you invest in your child. But you knew it was some lack that you had in your life your son or daughter saw. You know this, but you're not saying anything to them. You're not saying this is the reality of this society. So you got to be careful, son. You got to be careful, princess. You got to be careful. We don't talk about that. What we talk about is we can't criticize the opposite sex on something that may or may not be a really good solution to prevent stuff like a murder fucking suicide or stuff like trauma. But all these people, all these women and some males that I just saw on my timeline specifically talking about all this echo chamber stuff, such as that asshole, he killed her. Why did he kill her? Why was they together? Why this and why that and that to the third. I'm using stuff like this as a learning position. People don't know me. I see people don't know me what, but I'm gonna give a little something. My own mother had a situation like this. You know what I'm saying? My own mother had a situation just like this. And she was very young, but it wasn't a murder suicide. You get me? It wasn't a murder suicide. So I grew up without a mom and things, for the most of my life. I don't really like sharing these things, but I'm going to share it. I grew up without a mom for most of my life because the lack of the other generation not putting emphasis on raising, on raising their child early. For me, and I make bad decisions in my life. I ain't gonna blame nobody. But for me, I'm that type of guy that I will blame myself first. I'm that type of guy that's going to protect my kids as much as I possibly can before they're a certain age. Meaning, I'm going to give them values before they're a certain age. Because when they do grow up around 14, when they about 12 to like 15, when they want to, I would say 12 nowadays, 12 to 21, when they want to, do their own little thing, not listen to nothing you ever said, whatever, because all of a sudden, now you want to put emphasis on how you raise, how to raise a child. Now you want to raise a child when it's too late. And I just don't understand certain people that will say, hold on one second. I just don't understand certain people that will say they valuing other people. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're gonna do and everything else. To not mention that it's not as easy as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it by yourself. When you bring another human being in this world, and you damn well, you have to understand that you can't just have your baby with just anybody. But we use the excuse, I didn't know where he was, or I didn't know what she was. Okay, I get it. You was very young when you had the baby. But now you got to think. Now you got to put emphasis on, listen, we have this, you're getting older. We have this child. We have to protect this child as much as we possibly can. I'm a man that I'm growing into myself. I'm growing into my values that I need as a man. I need you to understand that I must raise my son and daughter in a way that I was somewhat raised. Even if I was raised in a bunch of chaos, I know good from bad. When you have kids, it's like it's time to grow up. I know many men, many women that was so immature, and then when they had kids, it was like that. It was just they went the other way. And I know many of them that got a lot more immature when they had children. Those are people that didn't value their kids. We can't save our children, but we have to put value in we have to put values in their head. We have to put knowledge in their head as much as possible. We cannot be saying, baby, you could do whatever you want if it's a girl. You could do whatever you party all day. Don't worry about no man, no this and that, the third. Be independent, being as though I don't believe these women are independent because they got too much, they got too many entities giving them shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. That's another video. But anyway, telling the young lady just what she can do. You don't have to value, even friends and stuff like that. We as parents need to put value in our children. And I'm also getting sick and tired of a lot of women. I'm getting sick and tired of a lot of women saying they can raise that, they could teach a man how to be a man. They could teach their boy how to be a man. And when they can't even keep a man. And that's what's mind-boggling to me. You can't keep a man, but you can teach a man how to be a man. This is the mindset in which we're falling under in this society. This is the exact mindset that I talk about a lot. It's mind-blowing when I hear a modern woman think that she can do it by herself. And some can. Some really can do it by themselves, but many can't. But statistically, the statistics don't lie. The facts, the fact checking and everything else about single motherhood and how a child comes out versus a child with two parents come out to be productive citizens or non-productive citizens. And we're not protecting our children from my belief for what I see. We're not protecting our children. It just the echo chambers that's going on in our society. It's horrible because it's going to be someone else. Because I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to criticize. Nobody above criticism, if you ask me. I'm going to criticize everyone. I don't care how you think it, how you want it. We can have a conversation. We could get this going. Don't be thinking that just because you're a mother and you're a woman and a situation bad happens to a woman, that you're going to talk about it. And you think you're going to, because everybody's agreeing with you, putting 100s and hearts and stuff like that. Why you're telling somebody value yourself and this and that and third to the girl, whatever. No, value your children. Value your children so they won't end up in a situation. Let this be a thinking moment that all of us need to have. Let it be a thinking moment instead of the same old stuff that I hear all the time. These modern women talking about the same shit. get a restraining order on a guy and this and that. No. How about you teach your daughter and your son not to be in chaotic relationships? How about you let that be one of the first things you teach your daughter and your son, and not having trauma and chaos around your son and daughter? That's how about we teach our kids that. Okay? How about that happen? Because what I see each and every day, I see people promoting the 304 culture. I see it all the time. I see people promoting 304 culture like nobody business. I see people promoting uh you know so-called bad boys making bad decisions and things of that nature, and then try to blame other men. Simp enforcers making bad decisions, getting into relationships. My son 21. I told my son a long time ago, if you ain't, it don't matter how old you are. If your mind ain't right, if you feel like your father didn't raise you properly, and you can't understand the opposite sex, do not get into no relationship with them. I've been teaching my son that since he was 4 or 5 years old. Do not get into no real relationship. That's what you should be teaching your son or your daughter. Mainly it's your son. Instead of teaching your son how to worship another person, how to say respect all women, no matter what she do, you better not put your hands on her. How about you tell your son not to even be involved with people that he got to put his hands on? How about we teach our sons that? Because a lot of these young men I see in high school and everything that be in relationships and hard body relationships, that relationships that they want to get married to the girl. I let them know quickly, young man, that woman probably gonna be here today and going tomorrow to another man. You better not. I hope you know yourself. I hope you understand yourself spiritually. See, you give good guidance to young men. I hear all the time these so-called mentors out here and coaches and stuff like that talking about how they care about these kids. Well, it's like every time I run into those so-called kids that they care about, these kids don't know nothing. They don't know anything. And that's scary when a young man or a very young boy or young girl is dating seriously. In today's culture, it's very like scary to me. Because I know when I was growing up, my first girlfriend, it was a terrible relationship, to be honest with you, arguing all the time and this and that. Yeah, my first real girlfriend. It was a terrible relationship. Please like and subscribe, man. Please like and subscribe. It was a terrible relationship when it came to that because I didn't know any better. I didn't have a father to teach me how to value myself, how to understand the opposite sex. A father, not some woman that had making bad decisions every time she meet a guy. And these same typical women that I've been seeing writing for the last 24 hours, trying to, go into their echo chamber by telling the other women that's on their friends list that I'm going to teach my son how to be a prince, how to respect all women. You don't even respect all women. You don't even respect all women. So how the hell that little boy is going to respect all women? That little boy that you're raising, how is he going to respect all women when you don't even respect all women? See, what you should be trying to do is making your point to be with a man that's going to teach your son to value himself. That's what you should do. Instead of keep on raising these son husbands. Keep on raising these boys that's making bad decisions because they saw you making bad decisions. How about that? I'm just ranting on what I've been seeing for the last 24 hours. In the town I live in, man, beautiful young lady got killed by her boyfriend. Both of them were super young. And everybody's talking about the same old shit. Young ladies, make sure you get a restraining order. And if you see red flags, but you grown ass women see red flags and y'all don't get restraining orders on who y'all with, who you value in a relationship that can't do shit for you, but sex you good. So you're gonna be a 35, 40-year-old woman, or maybe a little bit younger. You're gonna tell a teenager that she's seeing you all day, acting a fool with every man that you with every 6 months to a year. This is the problem. Nobody don't want to give direct solutions. Sure, if you went in a crazy relationship and it's abusive and you think shit gonna go haywire, quickly get away from the situation, quickly try to find protection, quickly find someone. Not do what they tell you, like on these media outlets. That bad boy, he crazy like that. And another thing I must say, most bad boys I know, quote unquote, they were bad women. Just because that particular woman ain't doing the shit that he's doing on a particular level, that don't mean nothing. Especially nowadays, these women going to jail more than ever before. Females are going to jail more than ever before because their illogical ways, their entitlement ways. You can look that shit up yourself. Go to CDC. How, in general, women in the United States are going to jail. The rates jumped like 35, 40%. So somebody's doing something wrong. This illogical echo chamber is not helping our children. This illogical echo chamber is telling the, this saying this. I seen it's a grown woman that's in my area that got into a situation with a grown man and probably could have lost everything because she got into a situation with a so-called bad boy, and then people saying she's a good girl, whatever. She didn't get killed and everything. Thank God for that and all that. But they said she around the wrong crowd. No, maybe he's around the wrong crowd. People crazy because he's doing the thing, and she's not. If these women these so-called modern women got a history of dating these so-called bad boys, they're usually bad women, awful women, and no logical thinking man will want to be with a illogical woman. So most of these illogical women date bad boys, so quote unquote bad boys that make bad decisions just as well as they do. This is sickening. We promote 304 behavior from the women's side, and we promote delusional simp enforcer bad boy behavior on the man's side. And then we're all of a sudden surprised by the outcomes that's going on in this world. In Connecticut alone, in the last week, it's been a suicide, murder suicide. A lot of these people shouldn't even be in relationships. They shouldn't even be in a relationship. If you ask me, to be honest with you, I felt like I wasn't. I started to realize that I can be in a serious relationship when I was uh, 36. I'm 41. That was a couple of years ago. And sometimes I be feeling like I can't be, all the way in a productive relationship. So you think these 18, 19-year-old people can be in a relationship? These kids don't even know how to wipe their own ass right, let alone be in a relationship. But a lot of them have to be in a relationship because they're in a situation where their home is not constructed. It's not strong. It's a lot of trauma going on. They can't even do that. They have to grow up fast because they want to be out of a situation. Because there's no way in hell. My daughter, 19 years old, she ain't ready to go grow up fast because she know her mom and myself. Hold on one second. Her mom and myself is going to be there as much as we possibly can for her. And we don't want, because we know it's a cold, cold world out there. It's a cold, cold world out there. Cold world. I can't even think of my daughter being as though, I'd be proud of her no matter what. But I wouldn't even then moving in. I just can't moving in with another man at the age that she is right now. She's still a little girl. Girls and boys, they not like 18, 19-year-olds 30, 20, 25 years ago, even 15 years ago. There was a proper lot, and it has a lot to do with has a whole lot to do with not being raised properly. Let's be honest. Even for myself, I criticize myself. I could have raised my daughter a lot better. And I could play the blame game I could play the blame game all day, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play that game because I know what I could have did better. I absolutely know. No matter who fault it was, no matter what, I know I could have did a lot better. So why would I? This is our generation. I'm a Generation X. We raising these millenniums. I forgot the other phrase. My daughter is like the next. She's not the millennium. Say something else. Whatever that age range is. Y'all know, 19-year-olds. Whatever that generation is called. So that's what it is. You people got to start getting out of. You got to get out of your echo chamber. You got to get out that small group that you like to be in. That's going to tell you right, girl. Yes, indeed. Don't even try to give you no criticism. Even men, you got to stop. People trying to tell you, you right, baby. Yeah, all love and love. All love is love. Fuck out of here. You're not doing. I'm talking about the people that's in my generation. And a little bit younger than that. You can't teach nobody nothing when you're not doing nothing, when you're maybe even doing worse. You're still when you're on that carousel of destructive relationships yourself. You could teach, you could tell them all you want, but they looking dead at you. They're looking dead at you and say, you know what? No. And that's real. Yo, but that's my story. I just feel as though that we got to stop raising our boys to worship any type of woman, put any type of human being on the pedestal, not value his needs and wants, and understanding that he is loved and he needs to love himself spiritually and psychologically before he even get into a relationship. And a young lady, let her understand that before she even make a commitment to a man, she must know who he is. No so-called red flags. No so-called, bad boy this and bad boy that. Understanding that it's not cool to be in a trauma, violent relationship. That's how you teach them. You put both criticism on both, not just one. Because people that you know on Facebook or you probably know in real life is the echo chamber of you telling you, yeah, you right, girl. You don't need no man. You could teach that boy how to be a woman. And those are the boys these son husbands. Those are boys that's killing the women. These simp enforcers, these beta male simp enforcers, those are the ones that are killing these women. Because you telling that boy to value everybody but himself. You teaching him that. He's seeing you date any type of guy, bringing them to the house. And if you're not bringing them to the house, you're going out every night. Crazy. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And again, let's keep it going. Let's keep this going. Let me see. I want you guys to look at this before I go. I can't even find it. I gotta make sure how to do that over again. But anyway, guys, like and subscribe to my channel. Kasim Lamar, YouTube. I'm coming back again to what today, Friday, so Sunday. I'm gonna come with a live again. And hey guys, all I want to do is be a critical thinker. Let people understand. I know I don't get too many people that want to actually view my opinions or what have you, because it's probably saying something different than you usually hear from the echo chambers that you're coming from. But if you want your son and your daughter to value themselves before they try to value some other being, and you know damn well that they might be not mentally stable enough to do that, you're doing the wrong thing. That boy need a real father to teach him how to be a productive man. Teach him how to understand this society that we are living in. And that girl need to value herself spiritually as well. That little girl, that little boy, I don't give a damn, they 30, 40. They should always understand they could trust in their mother or father. Mother and father. Again, I promote nuclear family. I don't give a fuck if I'm single, and I'm not single, but I'm saying I promote the nuclear family because these children need every bit of it, and not just any type of man or woman. I'm talking about a man and woman that understand who they are and ready to give everything they possibly can to their son or daughter or even both. Ready to invest in everything, because when you have another human being coming into this world, that should be a no question thing. But a lot of people really don't really understand this. They investing in more chaotic relationships more than they child. You know, they invested in stuff like that, more uh delusion of life more than their own children. And I'm gonna say again, I don't want to say the young lady's name. Rest in peace to the young lady. But we're gonna get a big picture of this thing. We gotta understand what's going on with these young boys that's putting their lives and other people's lives in danger because of relationships. We gotta look at that too. We gotta really look into that. Most people that get into domestic situations, man, you look at it statistically, a single parent is raising them because nobody valuing these kids, especially my generation, the generation just before us too. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe to the video. And I'll be back Sunday. I'm actually going to be doing some videos Saturday as well because we're supposed to be snowed in. So we're going to do it. Peace.